Peace and blessings, light and love, family. So, back to this black chakra thing, right? It's been a while since we talked about it. I do have some classes available for it. So, if you're interested, uh, let me know. Very cheap classes. Um, but I wanted to come on and just get this party started again around black chakras. I first want to talk about why we call it the black chakras and why black people call themselves black. There's a lot of controversy around it. And I think that's because we are not connecting it with our ancient selves, right? Kemet is the land of black, right? And in the motherland, all of the terminology was a reference to the blackness in us, right? And it wasn't talking about our skin tone. Africans in America tend to think that we're talking about skin complexion when we say the word black. We're not. We're talking about the fact that we are the melanin dominant people, right? And so, because of that high concentration of melanin and carbon, it makes us black. It makes us the black people, not skin tone, but because of the melanin content. Just to put that out there for those of you who needed to hear it. So, what are chakras? Chakras are arushats. That is the Kemetic term. One thing we're going to do is reclaim and rename our traditional healing practices because the chakras have been colonized. The term chakras have been colonized, just like the information has been lost through translation. I, just like many of you, started with the Indian chakra system, where I learned the seven main chakras. However, according to our ancestors and in the motherland, indigenous people, there were 13, according to the ancient Commissions, right? There were 13. And the Arushats terminology, the chakras are nothing but melanin clusters. They're energy centers, right? They're little balls of melanin clusters that have a consciousness and have an energy that communicate with the next chakra and the next, all the way up and down the meridian, the spinal cord, in the center of our bodies, right? And so that's what they are. They're melanin clusters, energy centers. And a lot of times when you study under the Indian mindset, we're not taught that this is melanin, right? It's the same reason that we are experiencing large numbers of health disparities because we're not taught that. But we're going to learn that this year, babies. That's what's going to happen. So, what else do I have on here? Okay, so there are 13 um, Arushats. So at the very bottom is the Geb, or the grounding chakra, which is actually underneath our feet, right? It's called the grounding chakra. It connects us to earth. Then there's the foot chakra, which sits about the ankles. Of course, you can't see that on this diagram. And then, of course, you have the root chakra, which we call the Asor or the Shango Arushat. And then up from that, we have the what they call the sacral. We call the sacred. This is sacred chakra. Or if you're tapping into the seven African powers, the Yimiya, and sometimes in the Kemetic tradition, it's called the Anubis energy center. And then up from that is the solar plexus, as you guys know it, but we call it the Ra or the Oshun melanin cluster. And then up from that, the next interesting thing is that we have three heart chakras, according to the ancient Kemetic sciences. There are three heart chakras, not just one. There is the Hathor chakra, which is the basic heart chakra. There's the Mayat Arushat, which is represents unconditional love, and there's the Shu heart chakra, which represents universal love. Then we go up, there's the Tahuti, or what we call the throat chakra, or when we're referencing the seven African powers, it's Obatala. Up from that, one that they don't have is the manifesting chakra, the Kepra chakra. That is where we tap into manifest things. Excellent. Then we have the first eye. They call it third eye. We know it's the first eye. So stop calling it third eye. It's the first eye. Or sometimes called Aset or Oromila in the seven African powers tradition. Then up from that, we have the Amen Ra, or the crown, what they call the crown chakra, or the Ori in the seven African powers way. And then we have the Nut chakra, or the soul chakra, which is at the very, very top. It's the white one that's above the head. So Those are the 13 that we are going to reclaim and rename this year, because this is the year of reckoning, and we have come to get our shit back. Because as I mentioned before, all of our healing information has been colonized, and we're sick of it. And the reason that we can't really tap into these energy centers for healing's sake is because we're not tapping into the right energy centers. We're not using the right names. Words matter, language matters. So we have to begin to reclaim that. So that is all. I want to jump on and break that down for you, because I know people constantly email me about it. I don't know when I'm doing another Black Chakras course. Um, and if it's going to be for free here. I might do an abbreviated version here on YouTube. But because I'm over at HPOC now, a lot of this information is packaged. But I'll let you know. So stand by. Anyway, peace and blessings, light and love, and sending all the very best in health.